Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. As I said yesterday in the introduction, today is day 1 of the 12 days of Tilbury. So each day I will be doing one of Charlotte Tilbury's 10 iconic looks and a couple of looks at the end thrown in as a surprise. Today, the look that I have just done is the Golden Goddess look. I hope you like it. I think it's a great look for everyone. It's universally flattering. Actually, Charlotte has done a makeup tutorial look on her mother, Patsy. And I think Patsy's in her 60s. I think she says so in the video, so I'm not being indiscreet. So, yeah, and I just think it looks really good, really lovely colours. Now, stupidly of me, in the video, I forgot to put on the pop shade, which is the best part. So let me just show you the pop shade, which I have now got on. The pop shade is this one here. And what you do with the pop shade is you actually rub it with your finger and then you dot it on. And it just gives you a lovely highlight on the lids. So excuse me for not actually having done that in the tutorial, but the rest of it is there. So sit back, get your cup of tea in your hand, and I hope you enjoy the video. Bye-bye. Okay, so let's get going. As you can see, I've prepped my face, I've done my brows, I've put my foundation on, and I've contoured my face. So we're all ready to dive in to the products that make up the Golden Goddess look. Now, first up is the Golden Goddess palette, which is 4 eyeshadows, as they all are. And as you can see, there are the colours. So as with all of her palettes, you have Prime, I should remember, Prime, Enhance, Smoke and Pop. Okay, I'm just going to swatch these on my arm so that you can see the colours. So first up we have the Prime shade, which is a nice silvery golden shade there for you. Then we have the Enhanced shade, which is a kind of taupey shade, very flattering. Then we have the Smoke shade, which is a beautiful golden colour. And then finally we have the Pop shade, which you have to use with your fingers, and there is the Pop shade. So those are all the colours. They work very nicely together. So let's see how they look on the eyes. So first of all, I'm going to go in with my blending brush and use the first shade, which is the Prime shade, and you use this all over your lid to prime your eyebrows. What is wrong with me today? Prime your eyelids, ready for the rest of the shadow. And it's really lovely. It just kind of brightens up any discoloration. And I've got the mirror in front of me, and I've also got the phone camera. So if you see me switching back and forth, that's why. And the other eye, like so. So I'm just, as you can see, this is what she says, windscreen wiper. You don't really have to be too precise with this. So that is the Prime shade on my lids, and that, as you can see, just takes the discoloration away, and it just primes your lids ready for the next. So next we go in with the Enhanced shade, and what I'm going to do is to blend that a little bit into my crease, just to enhance the socket there. So I'm blending it back and forward. You'll see my little pinkies resting on my cheek. That kind of enables me to pivot in the way that I'd like and really blend it well. Because if I do that, then your hand's free and it kind of goes everywhere. So I tend to like doing that. I'm just going to put a little bit more in there because it's kind of gone into that corner. I just want it a bit further across as well. And then onto the other eye. And back and forth. Again, what I like to do sometimes as well, ladies of a certain age, is just gently pull the eye across so that it doesn't drag on the skin, and you just the brush then glides quite smoothly and doesn't drag your lid in any way. If you see, I'm just holding it there. This is what you don't see on the young lady models, having to do that so that their skin doesn't drag. So actually Charlotte does that, and then we use some of the enhanced shade again, but with the smudger brush. So I'm just going to go in there with the smudger brush on that shade, and I might put a bit too much there, just dab that off, and just line the lids with that. Blend it a little bit. I'm going to blend it there into the corner, and then again I'm pulling this one across. This one tends to be a little bit more hooded, this eye, which is why I tend to naturally want to pull that one across when I'm doing my eye makeup. And then I'm going to smudge a bit underneath each eye and join it together with what I've smudged at the top. I don't tend to go all the way into the corner there. Some people like to do that. I think it depends on the shape of your eyes, really. So there is the enhanced shade. Now, what Charlotte does for the daytime is then puts on the mascara and says that's your daytime look, but I never do anything by halves. There's 4 shadows here, and when I saw the 4 shadows, there's no way I'm not going to use them all. I'm the kind of girl that doesn't drink coffee, but when I do, it's espresso. So, you know, when I put makeup on, I have to use the whole palette. But also, I want to show you the all the colours. So, let me go in. Now, what I do now is with the smudge brush, I go into the smoke shade, and I put that into the corner here because I want to get, as I said, I've got quite hooded lids. So I want to detract from them by getting some darkness in the corner, little bit up into my socket, and again line the lid and underneath. These blend so well together, these shades, and what I tend to do is drag that up a little bit again, just to make my eyes appear to be a little bit larger than they are. And again on this side, a little bit into the socket like that, along the lid, underneath, and up, just to make my eyes look a little bit bigger. And what I will definitely want to do there is kind of, with both of them, is I always tend to go over them with my blending brush and just make sure that that's all really well blended in and that I don't have any harsh lines. So we've got that. Especially on this outer corner here, you just don't want a line. You want it to kind of disappear. Often use my fingers into nothing. So there you have the eyeshadow. Now next up you have, I I'm just looking to, I can't remember where I swatched. Ah, there we go. Couldn't remember where I'd swatched those colours. So next up on here, we have the classic pencil in Sophia. Now, I've often wondered, this must have been named after her niece, Sophia Tilbury, who's also a makeup artist and is very good. I don't know if you've seen some of her makeup tutorials, but she's obviously got it in her genes. And this is a Sophia pencil. I love this pencil, actually. I'm going to swatch it for you. It's a goldy brown. Let me put it up here. It's a goldy brown. It's not too dark, but it's not too shimmery. But there is a very, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a very, very slight shimmer in it, which is not too in your face, but it just is enough to pick up the light. And it's really flattering. And it surprises me because a lot of Charlotte's looks, she doesn't actually use this for any other look other than the Golden Goddess. And it surprises me because I think it's a really flattering, lovely shade. So I'm just putting this now on the upper lid. And again in the lower lid. You can also put it... sorry, I appear to have a hair or something stuck on my eye, which is really annoying. And then I'm going to put a little bit actually in my waterline of this because I really like the way it opens up my eyes. You don't have to do this, but... and then I'm going to line the other lid. And they're really soft. I don't know if you can see this, but they're really soft. So they're quite easy to put on. You don't have to press really hard. Again, I like to pull the eye along just to get the skin nice and taut, so I'm not dragging the skin. So there is the eyeshadow. And then, so that is the eye pencil. Then we have the full fat lashes. As I said, I've curled my eyelashes before I came on. So I get into the root and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And try not to keep my mouth open when I'm putting my mascara on. Just people find that when they're putting eyeliner and mascara on, that for some reason they feel this compulsion to open their mouth. And I don't know what that's about, see? It's a really strange thing. So I like this mascara because I don't find personally on me that it clumps. Maybe other people might find that. I don't know whether they do, but I just find that it doesn't clump. And yet it's quite volumizing. So now you can use this. She shows on your tutorials, on her tutorial at the bottom lashes, you can use it that way, but I just find I've got a steadier hand doing it this way. Sometimes what I do is I've got a few lashes at the side here that just lie very flat, so I try to get into those and just tease them up. It's really annoying actually because they just never go into the eyelash curler. I kind of need some of those half eyelash curlers, I think, to grab them. But so I do turn them on the side, the mascara, just to get into these side things. Okay, so that's the eyes done. Then for the Cheek to Chic blusher, it is in Ecstasy for the Golden Goddess. I've done my bronze and glow. And so I'm just going to take my blusher brush, and the idea is that you swish around this shade. I haven't swatched it yet, but I will do that in a second. Sorry, guys. And then you go to the apple of your cheek and swish up. Now, I tend to do the swishing on both sides first. Everyone has a different way of doing it. And swish. just so that I can feel that it's balanced out. And then you pop in the middle. Now the shade in the middle is a lot more pigmented, so don't feel that you've got to go and really hammer in there with the brush, because actually it's quite pigmented, and it's supposed to give you that flush in the center of your cheeks, and obviously then I blend that out. Right, if I can show you, obviously I haven't swatched this, so this is the outer shade, and I'm going to swatch that underneath the eyeshadows here. It's not really showing up very much on my arm, but it's a very kind of light pinky shade. And then the middle pop is a kind of coral, which hopefully that should show up a bit better there on my arm. Okay, and so now we're going in, last but not least, is the lip pencil in Pillow Talk, and I will do the lips. Now this shows you how much I use Pillow Talk. It's I do actually have another one of these, but I got this one out today. Now this is Pillow Talk lip liner. It's a beautiful shade. And as you can see, it just mimics, it really does mimic the colour of my lips, and just gives it that little bit of extra definition. Now this lipstick is one of my favourites. It's called Stone Rose. It is an absolutely, I'm running out of room here, but I can just about get something next to my elbow. It's just a beautiful, flattering shade. I don't know if you can see that, but it really, the camera doesn't do it justice. It's an absolutely beautiful shade. I do have a lip pencil, a lip brush, I mean. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I keep saying the wrong words. Right, so I'm going to put a bit of this on from the bullet as well, because I get a bit impatient. But I will tell you what this lip brush is very useful for in a second. So that is Stone Rose. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous shade. Now, the last thing is her lip lustre. Now, this one is called Ibiza Nights. And as you can see, it's a clear lip gloss with a kind of golden fleck in it. It's really beautiful. And I actually use this on top of an awful lot of lipsticks that I have. If I want to just make the lipstick shimmer, if I have a flat shade that I want to make shimmer. Now, one of the things that I do use my lip brush for is to put on particularly this lip lustre, because what I don't want to do is, if I use this doe foot on my lips now, I'm going to get Stoned Rose onto it and then put it back in there, and it starts to contaminate the colour, and I don't want to do that. So what I tend to do is I put a little bit of this on my hand, the back of my hand, and then I pick it up with the lip brush, and that way I'm not contaminating the colour of the lipstick. So I will just put some of this on. I'm just going to pop it in the centre. There you go, and it just gives it a very nice subtle glow. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial and swatch of the Golden Goddess. I will be back tomorrow with another one of Charlotte's 10 iconic looks. Just to give you a bit of a close-up, this is what it looks like. I think this is flattering on any age. Obviously, you can use your eyeshadows a little bit differently. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please do come back tomorrow and see another iconic look. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.